Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. So due to bad government policy, unfortunately, Social Security beneficiaries have missed out on thousands of dollars, which leaves us with really only one option, a one-time stimulus check of anywhere between $6,000 to $12,000 for all Social Security beneficiaries. In today's video, we are going to be covering everything that you need to know. But before we go ahead and dive into for today, if you would like to receive up to $200 in free stock or $200 in free cash, in a pinned comment below, I will be leaving a link to Robinhood. All you have to do is once you click on that link is just sign up for a free account and then simply link your bank account. You do not even have to make an opening deposit. At that point in time, Robinhood will be sending you one free stock worth all the way up to $200. And if you'd rather just have the cash, all you have to do is once you receive the free stock is just sell it for what it's worth and then transfer the cash value right back to your bank account. Okay, so diving right into it for today. So once again, due to really just poor government policies, Social Security beneficiaries have missed out on and will continue to miss out on thousands of dollars over the lifetime of receiving Social Security benefits. This really only leaves the government with one option just to make things fair. There would be a one-time stimulus check of anywhere between $6,000 and $12,000 at the bare minimum, at least in my opinion. So before we go ahead and get into that, first off, we're going to have an update here as far as the cost of living adjustment goes. Of course, originally, they were going to have that released yesterday on October 15th, but because of the government shutdown, they did get pushed back until next week, actually on October 24th. So it's going to give us something really good to look out for. Then we're going to be going over some numbers here, what you can expect as far as your increase goes. So according to Fox News, the announcement of Social Security's annual inflation adjustment to benefits has been delayed due to the government shutdown, but the agency responsible for handling the benefit increase has set a date for releasing the data next week. Social Security benefits undergo a cost of living adjustment every year, which updates benefit amounts to account for inflation over the last year. The size of the annual COLA is determined by the rise in the Consumer Price Index over the prior year, and the Bureau of Labor Statistics releases the CPI on a monthly basis to gauge how much higher inflation has pushed consumer prices. However, the September CPI data that was supposed to be released on October 15th and complete the COLA calculation was delayed by the government shutdown. So again, how they determine these cost of living adjustments every single year is they take the 3 months of the third quarter data. So that is July, August, and September. They see how much inflation has risen in those 3 months. And then they compare the 3 months of this year's third quarter numbers to the third quarter numbers of last year, and whatever they have risen by is what the cost of living adjustment is going to be. So right now they are projecting anywhere between 2.7 to 2.8%. That would result in an increase of anywhere between $50 to $56 per month, depending on what you're receiving this year as far as your Social Security benefit goes. And they go on here to say that the BLS announced that it recalled some workers who were furloughed due to the government shutdown to complete the CPI report and allow the COLA to be released. The BLS will now release the September CPI on Friday, October 24th, while the Social Security Administration will announce the 2026 COLA the same day. So of course, once again, that next Friday on October 24th, we will know exactly what the cost of living adjustment increase is going to be, although you won't actually be receiving the increase in your checks until January next year in 2026. Now, they also say that experts anticipate that the 2026 COLA will raise Social Security recipient benefit payments by more than 2.5%, by more than the 2.5% COLA that was implemented this year in 2025. And the Senior Citizens League estimated last month that the COLA for 2026 will be 2.7%, which would raise the average monthly benefit for retired workers by $54 from $2,009 per month up to $2,062 a month. And TSCL noted that its estimate is higher than what was projected at the outset of this year, when it anticipated there would be a 2.1% COLA because inflation is substantially higher than its model anticipated. And of course, a lot of people are saying because of the tariffs that were implemented by the Trump administration, we are now seeing higher inflation throughout 2025, which in turn leads to a higher cost of living adjustment in 2026. With that said, leave your thoughts and comments below. What would you think about a 2.7% COLA in 2026? Would you be happy with it? Would you be unsatisfied? Leave your thoughts and comments below. Now, if you're saying that you're not happy with the 2.7% cost of living adjustment, if that's what it turns out to be next year in 2026, you certainly wouldn't be alone, because over the past several years, over the past few decades, unfortunately, the cost of living adjustments have just not kept up with inflation. And in turn, as a result, Social Security beneficiaries have been missing out on thousands of dollars in benefits over the lifetime of receiving benefits because the cost of living adjustments have not been keeping up with what inflation actually has been. So according to the Senior Citizens League, Social Security's 2026 cost of living adjustment announcement has been delayed to Friday, October 24th, due to complications arising from the government shutdown. The announcement had previously been scheduled for today, October 15th, and a new analysis from TSEL shows the average senior who retired in 1999 has lost nearly $5,000 in Social Security payments as a result of the government using the wrong price index to calculate the cost of living adjustments. The COLA is currently calculated with the CPIW, a price index that tracks inflation for people who work and live in cities. Instead, it should be using the CPIE, which is designed to reflect seniors' budgets and tends to come in slightly higher than the CPIW. And on average, the CPIE comes in at about 0.1 percentage points higher than the CPIW. And of course, because they have been using the CPIW over the years, for whatever reason, instead of the CPIE, over the years you have been receiving a lower cost of living adjustment, which in turn is making it so you're missing out on thousands of dollars over the lifespan of receiving Social Security benefits. Again, someone who started receiving Social Security back in 1999 has lost out on nearly $5,000 in benefits, and even more, someone who is retiring this year is going to miss out on even more benefits because they are using the CPIW instead of the CPIE formula. So we go on here to say that the cost of using the price index is rising for seniors over time. As shown in the figure below, TSEL's analysis predicts that if current long-term inflation patterns continue, the average person who retired in 2014 will lose about $8,000 of benefits across a 25-year retirement from using COLAs calculated with the CPIW instead of the CPIE. For someone who retired in 2024, we project that number to rise to just over $12,000. So as you can see up on the screen there, the chart, someone who retired back in 1999 has lost out on nearly $5,000 in Social Security benefits because they have been using the wrong formula. Someone who retired in 2004 has missed out on $5,682. Someone in 2009 will miss out on close to $7,000. Someone in 2014 is going to be missing out on approximately $8,000, and that number keeps getting higher. So someone who retired back in 2024 is going to be missing out on approximately $12,000. That really only leaves us with, one change we can make. The first change, of course, is the obvious one, is switching it over from the CPIW over to the CPIE. That way you're receiving a higher cost of living adjustment on average every single year. And of course, the second one is because of all the missed money that people have missed out on from the cost of living adjustments coming in lower than what they should be, is a one-time stimulus check. Now you can make different arguments. Maybe it should only be $2,000, but in my opinion, at least, from just the fact that someone who retired back in 1999 or 2004 has missed out on anywhere between $5,000 to $6,000, I think a stimulus check of $6,000 for everyone would really be fair, especially someone who started receiving Social Security benefits way back in 2000. And again, leave your thoughts and comments below with that. But as far as the key insights go, the CPIE has outperformed the CPIW 69% of the time across the last 25 COLAs. On average, the CPIE comes in at 2.7%, while the average CPIW comes in at 2.6%. The CPIE comes puts more emphasis on areas where seniors tend to spend more of their budget than younger Americans, such as housing and medical care. And again, Congress has introduced bills to change the COLA calculation to the CPIE over the last several years, but unfortunately, they do keep getting bogged down in DC. Good luck. They never end up actually voting on these bills or passing them, unfortunately. But with that said, leave your thoughts and comments below. What type of stimulus check do you think would be fair? Do you think, maybe $2,000? Do you think more than that, $5,000? Leave your thoughts and comments below. But that's all we have for today's video, and I will see you in the next one.